Hello! In today's episode, I show you how to go from this shot in Venice, which is a bit blah, to this. Come and join me. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, and welcome to episode 46 of my photography, Lightroom and Photoshop tips. My name is Serge Ramelli, and I'm a French photographer living in the beautiful city of Paris, France. Last week's episode, I showed you how to create some presets in Lightroom to very fast put a warm, a cold, or a mix of both look into your photos. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, you will get the link in the description of this video. This week, I take you to Venice, Italy. I want to show you a photo that I took in a late afternoon on the San Marco Plaza, and the sky was getting a bit red, but I took it on automatic white balance and it came out like this, very blah and very nothing. And I want to show you the full retouching to get to this result. Come and join me and I show you how I did this. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs. So today I want to show you a little trick that sometimes happens when you take a photo in the end of afternoon. This was taken like right before sunset, and the sun was getting, it was getting reddish in the sky, but when I looked at the photo, I was on automatic white balance and this photo came out completely blue, and where did my sky go to? So I want a revenge, and for this I'm gonna bring the reds back and I'm gonna bring them even more. I want to show you, because it's been a while now, I've not showed you a really from start to finish one of my landscape photography. Now of course this is a key point in Venice, Italy. It's one of the iconic shots you can get there, from the Plaza San Marco looking over the other islands. And so yeah, I had some nice red cast in the sky, not visible. So I've got two copies of the photo. It's a virtual copy. It's just to show you faster the before and after, because I have already done a lot of drilling on it. So I cannot just show you the before and after with the black slash key, because it's going to show you my prior trials. Okay, so let's get started. I open up the shadows. Oh, look at all the dirt that there was there. Ugly. But that's fine. We'll take care of that later. I'm going to bring down the highlights. You know the trick now. And now before I do the white and blacks, I want to take care of the sky. So I want to add a filter. I'm going to press the Option key and reset this. And make an ND filter for the sky. And I'm going to lower the exposure of the sky a little bit. And I'm going to add a bit of yellow and a bit of magenta, because that's how it was. Okay, just to start with, I'm going to come back to this. Now that I've done that, I'm going to do my white points and my black points. So Option key to the right until I see some stuff. You can see some blue dots there. I'm going to come back to it. Yes. And then same thing with the Option key. Okay, and like this. Now the white balance is completely off because it was a lot warmer. So let's go into shade. I can have auto. It's a bit warmer. Daylight. It's very colder. Cloudy. It's a bit warmer. And shade. Shade is a bit warmer than that. Now one question I get a lot is some people say, well, I don't have all these settings that you do have in my Lightroom on my photo. Well, that's because you're not retouching a RAW file. You're retouching a JPEG file, and only RAW file has these options. Okay, now shade is not enough for me. I'm going to go warmer. It was a lot warmer than that. I'm going to go a lot warmer. And you will see that the thing is that the photo has hidden red information in it. That's why that when I make it warmer, it goes a bit natural, because it was there in the first place. I'm not just adding color. Okay, now that I've made it warmer, I'm going to add some vibrance and I'm going to add some saturation to make it pop a little bit more. Okay, it's still not to the level that I want. So I'm going to go back here on the ND filter, on the gradient filter, and I'm going to make a new one, or I'm going to take the old one and see if I can add a bit more yellow, magenta into it, and take the yellow out and make my exposure a bit darker. Something like that. Yeah, that's more like it. That's more how it was. Make this maybe a bit lower. Yes. That's how it was, a bit warmer like that. So you see, I've lowered the exposure and added a bit of magenta. I really want to get this end of afternoon, beginning of nice sunset feeling to it. Okay, and makes a nice contrast with the blue boats. Last but not least, that's a little trick that I do. I do a double ND filter. and I do a second one, a graded filter, I'm sorry, and I make a shorter one here on the top to make a vignette effect, which I'm going to make slightly a bit darker, just to make a little gradient and add a bit more blue just here in the sky, just a little touch, you know. Check it out, before the ND filters, after the ND filters. It makes a better gradient. Maybe I'm going to lower this a little bit, you know. I want a better gradient in the sky and a bit more contrast. This is more, I went back to blue, this is more magenta. So you've got a color contrast, and you've got a color gradient and a luminosity gradient going on here. A lot of stuff, you know, check it out, before, after. So that's one key point. Now, that's not all. I really, this was a bit how the scene was. Now, I'm going to go over the top because that's just the way I am. I am over the top on these photos. I love great sunshines. So I'm going to go to saturation, and I'm going to boost the saturation here in Hue, Saturation, and Luminance. I'm going to boost the reds, the yellows, and the orange. And woo, ooh la la, you know, it starts to come to life. Check it out. That was before, and that's after. Quite a change. Now, there's a lot of dirt here, so one way I'm going to take care of that is I'm going to take the crop tool, and I'm going to go up here to take most of the dirt out. And I like also the idea of having 1/3 of ground and 2/3 of sky. I think it's a nice way to make composition. Okay, so before I press enter, I want to take the angle, and I'm going to click here and follow the horizontal line to make sure that my photo, I'm really straight, which I'm not sure that I am. Okay, something like that. Okay, I was slightly not there, so let me press enter. So now we are more into the photo, and I think we've got a better composition. Okay, and last but not least, I'm gonna play around with some dodge and burning. Now I'm just gonna try to do this. Well, first let me clean this bottle, because this bottle drives me crazy. So let's take the spot healing brush tool. Let's make it the size of the bottle. And yeah, no more bottle. No more bottle. You know, it's not nice to throw bottles in the water. Don't do that, please. Okay, let's do some dodge and burning. So I'm going to take the brush tool, and I'm going to make it my exposure just a little bit. Make sure my flow is at, feather is at 100, and flow around 90. I like flow and density to be around 90. Make sure auto mask is not on, otherwise it's not going to work. And I just want to add, you see here how this is a bit bright. I just want to add some brightness here, brightness there, just to, you know, the eyes follow the brighter spot. I just want the water here to be a bit brighter. Just makes it a bit more interesting. Maybe a bit more, something like that. Check it out. Before that brush, after that brush. Okay. Now, usually that's when I start playing around with this. I can create a new brush, lowers the opacity, make it bigger, and see what happens if I make this a bit bigger, a bit darker. You know what? I don't like it, so I just erase the brush. I think, yeah, that was the main thing. I'm just going to take that brush back, maybe just boost a little bit. Okay. Now I see. Okay, so I added just, yeah. No, sorry, it's a bit too much. I'm going to go back on this brush here and lower a bit. I just wanted to add a bit more shininess to the water. That's all I really wanted to do. And now check this out. See how you have a red, green, a red and a green light here, lines, you know, and that's what we called in lens correction the chromatic aberration. So if I click on it, well, it's not fully taken out, but it's a bit better. There's a bit of a red cast still left over. So in case that's happening, you can just force it even more, but by touching this setting here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. You have to make sure it doesn't work so much, but it's a bit better. Check it out. Remove chromatic aberration. I mean, it's clearly is green here, and remove it, it's taking it out. Okay, let's zoom back here. Profile, let's enable profile correction. Okay, it's going to make everything brighter around. So, you know, if I do that, then I like to go to post-crop vignetting and just add some post-crop vignetting to it. Something like that, just to to get it back. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Let's take care of the noise. Let's look if there is noise in the photo. Okay, not so much. So a little bit. It's a bit grainy here. So I'm gonna, when it's a bit grainy, I go to about 20 just to take off some noise. And let's add some sharpening. Let's add some serious sharpening, like 90. Okay, that's kind of cool. But I don't want to see how the sky is getting very grainy. I don't want that at all. So first I'm going to get the sharpening to 80. And then I'm going to go back to 100% view. And I'm going to press the Option key and go on a masking until my whole sky is black. I don't want any sharpening happening in the sky. And this is going to mask that. Anything which is black is not going to get sharpened. So that's perfect. Now we have a very soft sky. Now the last decision I need to make, I mean, for me, is the clarity. If I go right, I'm going to have a very edgy look. If I go left, I'm going to have a more romantic type of look. And I think I'm going to go for this. I'm going to go like -11 on clarity, make it a bit softy, you know. Now it was in the evening, so I'm going to maybe lower the overall exposure, which is going to boost the colors always. Okay. Something like that. Maybe add just a little bit of contrast, because I'm crazy about contrast. And that's about it. Check it out, before and after. Now that's quite a major change. Now, if you want to get the raw file so that you can train and so you don't have to fly to Venice to get this photo, I'll give you a little trick. If you go to my website called photoserge.com, which is here, and you go on podcast, you will see all the podcasts. There is not this one because I'm recording it right now, but you will see now for some episodes and only a few, there is a share and download raw file. The whole idea is that you're going to have to like, it's all automatic. You just like on Facebook or +1 on Google+. You have to share basically my website, and in exchange, you get for free the raw file. That's because I was getting lots of email. It's a bit, you know, it was a bit hard for me to handle. This way, anybody can just go on my website, photoserge.com, and click and get the raw file for free. All you have to do is +1 it or like it on Facebook, and it's all automatic. And if you want the link to my website, it's under the description of the video. Last but not least, English tutorials. I have a new tutorial coming out very soon. It's not out yet. And it's the first time I'm making a tutorial. I'm just teasing it here a little bit, where I show you how I shoot and how I post-process. Usually I just show the post-processing. Now I took my wife who filmed me while shooting in Paris and in Israel, and I show you the project from start to finish. I give you all the raw file. It's going to be my best tutorial so far. At least the hardest I've ever produced. It took me months to produce, and it's coming out in a few days. In the meantime, check out my packages here. You can get for $25 instead of $30 all my Lightroom training, for $40 all my Photoshop training, and for $63 both. All the Lightroom and Photoshop training, 30% discount. Actually, this one is the best deal. Okay guys, thank you very much, and let's get back to the studio. Okay, so I hope you liked that tutorial. It's very fun. It's been a while. I haven't done a full workflow from A to Z. If you want to get the raw file, this time don't write me. Just go on my website and go on to podcast, share, and you will get automatically the raw file. I think it's an easier way for most people to get it so you can train at home with this type of photo. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.